4 ACC women's basketball tip-off. Happy to introduce the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, your reigning ACC champions, head coach ncaaw Ivy. Also joining us is Liatu King, as well as Olivia Miles and Hannah Hidalgo. First of all, we're going to start off with you, ncaaw. Short span as a head coach, but you continue to raise the bar for this program. Can you kind of talk about just what some of the fundamental foundational principles are that you have built this program on?
Yeah, definitely being unselfish and competing at the highest level. It's something that, again, I try to instill this group, playing with passion, playing for each other. And I'm just blessed that I work with an incredible group of young women that want to win, but they also want to win for each other.
And so I think the million-dollar question everybody wants to know is you've had in two consecutive years two of the most dynamic playmakers on your roster. Unfortunately, Olivia couldn't play last year. What's this coming season going to look like to have both of them back?
It's going to be electric. I think everyone is going to be really excited to see those two play together. They're, like you mentioned, the most dynamic point guards in our game. And, high tempo, fast pace. We like to score. We like to get out and run. But again, just playing very smart basketball, very unselfish, and very dynamic is what you're going to see.
We can talk about the scoring and the passing, but it's also the defense for these two. Are we going to see anything different with both of them on the floor this year from a defensive perspective?
Yeah, I think you're going to see the entire team. We're committed to playing, being disruptive this year, playing with a lot of fire defensively. Hannah, as everyone knows, one of the best defenders in the country, led the nation in steals. But you're going to see that level of defensive mentality for the entire group. We're playing harder defensively, and they're really committed to defense.
Olivia, give us kind of a preview of what this team's looking like so far in practices.
Yeah, I mean, we are looking scary. We're committed to our craft every day. We love to get better, and we love to compete, and we love to push each other and communicate. And, obviously the chemistry takes time. It's a new group with new faces. But we're so committed to each other, and we're committed to leading each other and playing well together. So we're excited.
Olivia, unfortunately, we didn't see you play last year due to circumstances. What was that time off of basketball like for you? And what did you do every day, despite itching to get back on the court? What did you do every day to help encourage your teammates from the sidelines?
Yeah, that time for me was a time of learning, reflection, and growth. I was able to kind of look at the game in a different light, develop as a person, and develop such a gratitude for the game that I, hadn't had before. And the way that I kind of translated that to my teammates was kind of learning how each person likes to be talked to or needs to be communicated with. I think as a point guard, that's vital because you have to reach your teammates, especially, if they're in their head or even if they're having a really good game. You need to keep encouraging them and motivating them. So I learned each and every one of my teammates' tendencies and the ways that they can be reached and want to be talked to.
When I look at this roster, I think it's you got to run for a Final Four. And I know that's the expectation at Notre Dame. Outside of health, what else are the keys for you to make that run?
I would say consistency, being first, playing a certain way at a high level every game, setting the tone. Like you mentioned, we have a lot of talent on this roster, and it's really exciting to see the talent. I think we are great in every position. We have a lot of weapons. We talked about, pick your poison with this group because everyone is so talented and contribute in such an incredible ways. But having that consistency every game and playing at a high level and setting the tone and being dominant, having that dominant mindset every game is going to be what we need to do.
Hey, Hannah, Royal Howell, the Juice Network. Can you just speak on, you had a post on your IG was saying, love the pressure in the summer because it's diamonds in the winter. Can you just speak on just your off-season work you put in, ACC Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year last year? How do you top that and kind of elevate your team going into this season?
I think, again, just what Coach Ivy said, I think consistency. I think just having that consistency and not being complacent with what I did last year, just kind of elevating my game, being more exciting, bringing more fire, making my teammates' lives easier, still being that pest on defense, and just doing what I need to do for my teammates to help us win, because I'm here to win, regardless of my stats or kind of what that looks like. I'm here to win. And so with the off season, that just required me to get stronger, work on my left, work on my range, and it required a lot of things. But I just think going into this next season, I don't want to be complacent. I want to get better.
Hannah, you were one of the most electrifying players, not just in women's basketball, but in college basketball last year, if we're being honest. Can we last year we had Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and they are doing amazing things up in the WNBA. And looking forward to the future, it's you and Juju from USC. Can you talk about the impact that you think this has on women's basketball?
Yeah, I just think being a part of a generation where women's basketball is on the rise is truly a blessing. I just remember being younger and, seeing women's basketball not getting that talk where I feel like we deserved, and to see people like, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and before them, Aaliyah Boston and Zai Cook, just seeing all those players and how women's basketball is, on the rise, and seeing how many people are talking about it. I just think being a part of this generation is truly a blessing, and, it's only up from here. We're still growing, and women are progressing now. We see women dunking now and stuff like that. And so, it's just a blessing to be a part of this.
Coach Ivy, can you just speak on, when you speak to your point guard, having that next play mentality, being calm, poised, and collective, ignoring like the bad ships, but, just keep elevating the team to the next level. Speak on that with your point guard.
Yeah, I'm fortunate that I played the position, so I understand, how hard that is for Olivia and Hannah. And I talked to both of them about, you just mentioned, having that next play mentality. They're the extension of me on the court. I have a lot of confidence and trust in both of them of making sure that we run the right plays, and doing a great job of kind of facilitating the offense with our talented team. So you have to get to the next play, because if not, you can have that carry on, which will, in turn, you lose your focus. But they do a great job, and it's something that I say a lot, but Liv with the experience that she has, and Hannah with the experience that she had last year, you're looking at two of the best in the business when it comes to running the point.
Yeah, you're the reigning most improved player in the league. Now you're making the transition. Communication's a big part of this transition. You learned to sign at 9 months old. Can you talk about how that and your background has enabled you to make this transition a little bit easier because of your communication skills?
Yeah, so as you stated, I learned ASL when I was 9 months. Both of my parents are deaf, and so, just having to grow up in a household where, and I'm the oldest as well, and so having to grow up in a household where I was the vocal point for my parents, and just having to do a lot of things that kids my age really didn't have to do, going to doctor's appointments, being an interpreter at the doctor's appointments, going to the grocery store, being an interpreter there. So for me, that just kind of put things in perspective for me, and it matured me at a very young age, and so it made me have tough conversations with older people at a very young age, and so that kind of set me up for going into college, and just being able to have tough conversations, being able to be uncomfortable in those situations. And so, yeah, it started there. So.
Olivia, unfortunately, had to sit out last year. What did you learn more about your coaching staff by having to sit out than maybe you had learned your freshman season?
Think. No, Coach Ivy's actually a very funny and down to heart and wholesome.
I mean, you learned this about her when you were sitting out, or you already?
About her
Okay.
Because when you're in the thick of it, you're kind of always stressed, and you see her, getting worked up and putting her passion and emotions. But seeing her in those times where, before the game in the locker room, where she's just chilling and playing a card game or something, you see how down to earth and how wholesome, and how at the end of the day we are just playing a game, and it made me kind of realize that basketball isn't everything, and to just enjoy life and enjoy the people that you're with.
Coach Ivy, can you give us a couple of, as of right now here in October, the strengths of this team, and then a couple of things that maybe you're keeping you up at night right now about this team?
Wow, we have a lot of strengths. So again, very grateful for that. I think we do a great job of sharing the ball. They're very unselfish to the point where they're always looking for there's so many open shots right now. That's probably what's keeping up at night because they're being so unselfish, just sharing the ball. I think we have incredible ball handlers that can get downhill. So I think we have, in all of our posts as well, to our versatility with our forwards, they can get downhill. I think we shoot the three really well. Everybody's come back with a better three-point shot. And again, defensively, I think we're doing a great job of guarding the ball, which in turn is going to help our defense just in full force. But just ability to get downhill, our three-point shooting, I think has really improved. Our pace has gotten a lot quicker, obviously with Olivia back. But adding size with Kate, Koval, adding Leah too, and Liza, who are very versatile in that position, helps us be better rebounders and to score really well in the paint.
All right, ladies, I'm going to ask each of you, give me the one teammate right now that maybe your fans don't know about, or maybe just outside of the gym people don't know much about, but give a couple of weeks into the season and it's going to be a household name.
Do you want to start?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I heard you guys already say it before, and I think we all can agree. But I don't want to speak for you guys. But somebody who's going to be a household name that's going under the radar now is Liza. She brings experience. She was a household name at her previous school, and just the grit and everything that she has shown in practice so far, we're very confident in her abilities to help this team.
I'm going to take a left turn here and actually say Emma, because we haven't really gotten to see her in full action, but the way that this girl shoots the ball is incredible, and you guys will be hearing about her when she's on the court because she's going to make noise with her three balls.
Well, then I'm going to take a big left turn and not say the same as everyone else. I'm going to say Kate. And I know coming out she was, top 5, of course. So she's up there, but I don't think people really understand how great of a player she really is. I mean, she's just extremely smart. Her decision making is phenomenal. She could pass like a guard. She can shoot. I mean, she just has so many elements that come to her game, and I just think that people don't understand how good she really is.
Oh, do you want to answer this as
No.
well? Oh, okay.
They answered it perfectly.
Last question. 3 new teams coming into the league. Did you and your staff do anything differently this past off season to prepare for now it's an even greater gauntlet of an ACC season?
Yeah, I think when that time comes close, when we're preparing to scout for them, we'll probably do obviously a deeper dive. I know Sharman Smith, we played Cal 2 seasons ago, so we actually have the film on the way that she coaches and their philosophy and style of play. So I'll definitely take a look into that. But ACC is so we're grateful that all 3 institutions are joining us. I think they're really going to enhance our league and obviously with the coaching staff. So we're excited.
Well, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, thank you guys so much and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.